Hey y'all. Let me know if you can hear me. I am in my car, so I'm not for sure if you can hear me or not. If you can, I would appreciate you just putting a one in the chat. I'm gonna be driving and I'm going to be talking. I call it the Selena Chronicles because it's always something new in Selena Chronicles. Um, hey Brooklyn, it's always something new with Selena. So it's good, exciting stuff. So I'm driving and Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to everyone. My supporters, my subscribers, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. Those who don't celebrate Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. Forgot the other holiday, the name of the other seasons, not seasons, but holidays. But you know, the Israelites, they celebrate. What do y'all celebrate? Can y'all tell me that? She'll have herself in here. She can tell me all these different holidays y'all some of the Israelites celebrate. Well, happy holidays to all. Hey CC, what's up Brooklyn? What's up Dawn? Thank you guys for coming through. Like I said, I'm not gonna talk too long. I'm pretty sure it's a lot going on in these YouTube streets. But you know me, I'm not in the mix, so I don't know everything that's going on. And some of it I prefer not to know because it's better for me. It keeps me out of harm's way for the most part. I am driving home. I was about to and press the like button when you as you come in. Um I was about to meet someone so that I can get something from them, but they haven't reached out to me, so it's getting late and I'm going to the house. So yeah, I'm not gonna be. Hey Gary, what's good? If I don't catch everybody, it's because I'm driving. So you know me, I have to keep my eyes on the streets. The devil is busy, and in this season, honey, these people are crazy. They crazy every day, but especially now, honey, people are ripping and running, trying to find these last minute gifts. The people that blessed me and throughout the year, they're just getting gift cards because number one, I don't have the patience to be in stores um, trying to find stuff for people, and people like different things. So I'm gonna give you a gift card, and whatever's on that amount, a good gift card. Hopefully, it will be able to get you what you would like to get. Because I don't have the patience of the time to be in the stores with these people out here today. My patience. Hey, realist, what's good? My It was nice to hear your voice on the live last night on Dome's Live. Uh, I would love for you to one day. I would like to showcase your channel on my show. Hey, Bevins, what's good? Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad, Happy Hanukkah, whatever y'all got going on. Yeah, that too. So I'm driving, so you know how I am. I gotta keep my eyes on the streets, honey. These Dallas streets can be dangerous. Yes, yes, yes. Hey, Don, how are you doing? Don Philly in the house. In the house. Well, yeah. So people gonna get some gift cards from me because I don't have the patience or the tolerance to be in these stores with these crazy folks. And I just, like I said, and I'm a little crazy too, and I want to stay in the right spirit. So I'm going to not put myself in torture and go to these stores looking for stuff. Anyway, so it's almost Christmas. And you know how it is when it's almost Christmas. People are just really dangerous out here. And then it's a lot of thieves out here. So you got to be just extra careful. Well, today I was talking to a good friend of mine. Shout out to Candy James. Candy James. Something was brought to my attention. And what was brought to my attention is our perception is sometimes our realities. I'm not going to say sometimes. I'm going to say most of the time. The way we perceive things, the way we see things is really our reality. But does it really make it true just because that's the way we perceive it to be? Or is sometimes our perception a little screwed up? But the way we the way we see things, and that's usually what we see life and people to be at times. Sometimes it's true, sometimes it's incorrect. But you really have to kind of examine yourself to see if you're thinking with the right frame of mind. I was thinking about how there's certain issues that was brought to my attention by someone, and they were saying, you might struggle with this, and I'm not going to tell you what it is, but someone was saying that I might have an issue with a certain thing, and that's the way, and that's the reason why I perceive certain things a certain way. Hey, Diana. Again, I'm driving, so if I miss you coming in, when you come in, charge it to my head and not my heart. I got to keep my eyes on these roads. Press the like button as you come in. But I felt like the person was telling me the reason why I have a certain issue with something was because my perception was wrong. And also, I was feeding into the wrong things. See, a lot of times we be feeding into the negativity, and we don't even understand why we're feeding into it. But when we do feed into it, it's something behind it. It's usually an issue that you have. You could have an issue with abandonment. You could have an issue with rejection. You could have an issue uh, with feeling like you have to please people. We all have different issues, and and it comes from something that we or if we have dealt with it, it's still present in our lives, and we sometimes we are not sure why we respond or why we care about certain things. But when we examine ourselves, that's a good part of being self-aware. When you start to be self-aware, you start to examine yourself a little bit, you can kind of see why you do certain things. See, I'm a just be a hey Betty, what's good? What's up, Lon Lon? I had an issue with a certain thing, and why certain people maybe looked at me or didn't favor me in a kind of in a certain kind of way. That was because I had an issue that I wasn't aware of. And then when I started examining what that issue was, I started to say, why do I care who don't like me and why they don't like me? Why do I care? I never see. I knew it was something wrong with me, and just think about it. It's something wrong with all of us. Our perception is a little screwed up at times, and like I said, our perception can sometimes be our reality. And my perception of seeing a certain thing, I was so blinded by why certain people or certain thing, a certain person didn't like me or didn't approve of me. But then I had to realize, why do I care? There it has to be something wrong. There has to be an issue with me that I actually give a rat's fat blank about how or why a person don't like me. Like you have an issue in a certain area. And then when I started to realize that, then I started to kind of understand, okay, you have an issue with that. So how do you get your perception about a certain thing or certain people how do you correct that where you don't give really a rat's fat blank about how a person thinks or feels about you? What about the people that actually like you? What about the people that want to gravitate to you? What about the people that like your spirit? What about those people? Why is it that I'm focused on the people that don't like me rather than the people that actually do? Do you know that? Hey, Angelo, do you know that sometimes as humans, what's up, Meek Meek? Sometimes as humans, we are prone to go to the negative rather than the positive, right? And I had to kind of get in my head that it doesn't matter who does not like you or why they don't like you. Celebrate the people that actually do. And when you start to celebrate the people and start to not feed into the negativity and you start feeding on more hi Larice, hey cousin, how are you? This is one of my million cousins out here. Good to see you, Larice. When you start focusing on how, hey Shirley, how people why people don't like you, but you start focusing on the people that actually do like you, the people that actually y'all share the same kind of energy with each other, then those are the people that you focus on. And when you stop feeding so much into the negativity, you will start to see things in your life actually change. See, just I would say in the last few weeks, I've had a lot of situations, trying situations, especially with my family. It's a couple of people in my family that are sick. It's somebody I care about who's really ill right now. And I'm really going through some problems to where I really care about these people. I don't want anything to happen to these people. And, we all, to an extent, hate to see if we feel like their health is going down the drain. We hate to see that, right? Because we care about them. We want the best for them. But then life happens to us all, and we learn how to deal with it the best way we can. So that's what I've been doing. But there's been some really great things that have happened to me, excuse me, to me, that has given me another perspective, that has given me another perception. So my view on certain things now are not as gloomy and uncertain as it was before. I actually have hope for the first time in a long time. And condolences to your uncle, realist. It is very difficult, and I'm going, I go from one thing to another. It's very difficult, especially on the holidays when our loved ones pass. That is the most difficult thing because those people are no longer there on those holiday dinners and all that, and it's really hurtful. But my prayers and condolences are with you, and just know you're not alone, because it's a lot of people that have experienced someone dying close to the holidays, or just dying at all, at period. And it's painful. And it's really leaves a void in your life. But and like I said, my prayers go out to you. But I was thinking about how my perspective on a lot of things have changed. So and it's because I started feeding into more of the positive things. I stopped going to some of the things that would make me feel a certain kind of way. A lot of times we cause things upon ourselves because we feed into the wrong thing. And when I had a friend of mine let me know, you're feeding into the wrong thing. Focus on what is great. Focus on the people that actually like you, that support you. Focus on people that connect with you. That is what your focus needs to be on. And once your focus is more on that kind of thing, and you appreciate, people, and content creators really have to be very careful on how they move sometimes, because as we show people that we appreciate them, we need to always remember how we started out. And what I mean by that, if you've ever seen people that have been on, YouTube, they start out a certain way and they become a total different person. They become a monster. And then when you have supporters and people that actually want to see you make it, and they come to you and say, hey, I'm seeing you going down the wrong path. You might want to go this way. You might want to stop what you're doing. You kind of losing yourself. Appreciate those people and don't get mad at those folks, because those are actually the people that are for you. When people can tell you the truth and you don't have a lot of yes men agreeing with your foolishness, you really got something. And you really need to appreciate those people, and you really need to take heed to what people that actually care enough about you to tell you the truth, not somebody that tells you that everything you do is great, because we know that's not realistic. I always say the people that I really look for as supporters or real people are people that will tell me the truth even when I don't want to hear it. Because it's just some hard truths in life that don't nobody want to hear, especially if it's something that is negative, right? So that was another thing that I learned. I'm just learning that a lot of things that I fed into before, I can no longer do that, because it will lead me down to a path where you won't even know who I am. I will be the person that is always angry, popping off and going off on people and telling people off. That is not who I want to be. Now, every now and then, you have to have that person that inside of you to tell people, I'm not gonna be nice. I'm gonna just tell you exactly how I feel. You have to have those moments sometimes. That's just normal, but not all the time. You know what I'm saying? And then too, a lot of things you don't even have to respond to. A lot of things you don't have to feed into negativity, because what for? At the end of the day, you don't know these people. You shouldn't care what people's opinion of you is, really, especially if they don't support you and don't like you. It don't matter, because people are always going to have something to say. And unfortunately, everybody has an opinion. And unfortunately, some people give you your opinion when you didn't ask. So I was kind of I had to learn that. And like I said, just in the past few weeks, even though some things was trying to distract me and have me go down another path, I started really just saying, okay, what am I gonna do about that? How am I gonna respond? If I respond, what am I gonna say? And is it worth responding to? See, you have to know when to pick your battles. You have to know if it's something I'm going to gain for this. If I tell you how I feel, that I don't like you, that I think you are this or this or this, what am I actually going to accomplish from that? The end of the day, you don't care. You're going to still be the same lousy person that you are. And that's just what that is. People's perception is their reality. And my perception was a little faulty because of my issue, number one, of being a people pleaser, but that people pleaser came from an issue. It came from an issue that I wasn't aware of. And then when I became aware of that issue, then I started to see, oh, that's why I actually cared when I shouldn't. You actually shouldn't care. And when you do put too much emphasis on your feelings about how people feel about you, that's where you really need to do some examination on yourself, some self-examination. See, I wish I was like, I have somebody that I know, Maurice. I mean, she's one of them. She's one of those people. She doesn't give a damn about what anybody thinks about her. I think that is the best way to be unbothered, to not give a damn. That is the one of the best qualities that most people should really have. Because if you don't give a damn, hey, atmosphere, if you really don't care, then things won't affect you so deeply like if it really was something that was actually somebody dear to you. She doesn't give a damn. I have a few other people that I know that just don't give a damn. And then so when and forgive me if I'm, saying a curse word or whatever, but you sometimes have to have that attitude to be unbothered by how some people feel about you, because it can mess your mind up. It can make your perception so bad about yourself, you'll start blaming yourself from stuff that you had nothing to do with. It's just that people feel a certain kind of way, they think a certain kind of way, and sometimes it's a group think. It's, if I don't like you, then I'm going to make everybody else around you feel the same way, and then everybody, they feel the same way. They don't know why, they just I'm gonna just go by what this person is saying. And people do it everywhere. So I'm talking about in general, people do it everywhere, because not a lot of people want to stand out. Not a lot of people want to be different. Not a lot of people want to be where the spotlight is on them negatively. No one wants that. So they sit back and they observe. And then when they see that somebody's going on one person, um, they just sit back. Sometimes they give their opinion and they agree with that person. And sometimes they're just sitting back laughing. Thank you, Rare Money. I appreciate you, sweetie. I'm just like, I just be seeing stuff. And it happens everywhere. In high school, I've always been different in high school too. I've always had the attitude where, even though I did have a little bit of me that cared what people think, because I am a person, I sometimes wear my feelings on my sleeves. And this Negro better not hit me with their car. Okay. And I wear my feelings on my sleeves. And sometimes I would, get a little irritated. But then there was a part of me too that kind of did my own thing. I didn't do what everybody else did. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes that singles you out. When you are being who you are, that's all you know how to be for the most part, unless you are trying to be somebody else, you know. And then, yeah, the R&R, road rage Selena. Yep. So you really start to see how people will single you out when you want to do your own thing. And that's what I used to experience in high school. I've never had, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I never had a problem with the men. I never had a problem with the boys in school. And I really didn't have a problem with the girls either, just a few haters. But that's in, everybody has that. But I always did but it did set me apart to where people thought I was so different, and I was trying to figure out, why you think I'm so different just because I have an opinion, or I want to do this, or I want to dress. When people want to do a certain thing, I was like, nah, I don't want to do that. And they was like, man, Selena, why you don't want to do it? Da da da. Because I don't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't do it. And that set me apart. And I wasn't even trying to be set apart. I just had a different way of thinking. I had a different opinion. Number one, I was raised in a way where I didn't want to embarrass my family. I thought about probably my family more than I thought about myself and how I felt, because I did not want to embarrass my family. You know, I always had that. And and so I had to really just realize that being different will set you apart. And so what I feel like, sometimes whatever God put in you, like it's gonna be separate. Like it's gonna separate you from other people. Sometimes in a good way and sometimes in a bad way. And I guess at this point in my life, I'm perfectly fine with either way. Um, I come to realize that I have to be unbothered. I have to be a person that has tougher skin. I can't be a person that wears my heart on the sleeve, because guess what? The world will swallow you up and spit you out and not give a damn about it. You have to be a little bit, like I was talking about yesterday, you have to be a little courageous on your opinion, whether it might get you some people that can't stand you, they can't, they want to destroy you, and you're gonna have to stand on it. Some of the biggest rebels in our history were most hated, but they're the most talked about in history, like Malcolm X. I mean, I love Martin Luther King, and he was, a revolutionary. I really feel that, but it was something about Malcolm X that really spoke to me. Malcolm X was a rebel. You know, he found out his own truth of what he seen that was his truth. And once he felt like speaking on something, he spoke on it. And even if he was fearful, he never let people see him sweat. See, that is fearless to me. Malcolm X was fearless. And Martin Luther King was too. Martin Luther King, he did what was very unpopular, turning the other cheek. I'm more an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, but I guess I have to get to that point. But he turned the other cheek, and he believed in loving your enemies. He believed in being peaceful instead of using violence. Even when they were getting sprayed by water hose, and the dogs were attacking them, and all the things that they went through in that era, he still standing on his principles. He had his issues, he had his faults like anybody else. So did Malcolm. But one thing can't nobody say: these were fearless leaders. These were people that didn't mind sticking out and being different. There's many more in our history. The most talked about and sometimes the most hated. We can even say Jesus, for that matter. Whether you believe he was real or not, he was a rebel. He didn't care what people thought about him. He told them, Pharisees and Sadducees, you are a snake, you're a viper, you hypocrite. Why? I mean, could you think about Jesus, who's supposed to be the rabbi, the savior of the world, God's son? And he's telling, he's coming as a humble carpenter, but he's letting some of these people, these religious leaders in the church, letting them know, you are a fake, you are not real, you teach in hypocrisy. That is fearless. That set him apart from everybody else in history. There's many more leaders that countless leaders that I can talk about that have been set apart because they chose not to be in the group and they chose to be different. So this is the way, even though I will not have the type of probably history that some of these people will have, where people won't be talking about me from years now, even when I leave this earth, people probably won't still be talking about me. But one thing, for those people that I have touched their life in some type of way, they'll remember that Selena spoke on what she thought was true. She didn't mind being different from everybody else. She didn't mind thinking outside the box. That's what I want some people that actually like me, that actually care about my existence. I want those type of people to remember that about me. And that's why it takes a lot of work to work on yourself. Because while people want to point out your flaws and your faults, they don't see how far you came from. Number one, they don't care, but they don't even know your history to know how far you came. So when I look back at where I came from and where I am now, I don't care. Hey, Larry, I don't care if nobody else ain't proud of me. I'm proud of me. I'm proud of what I've become. I'm proud that I learned to be that person that was scary, that wanted to hide up under rock, that didn't want to speak in front of people, that didn't want to speak to people at all, because I thought most of the time people get on your nerves and you don't want to be bothered with folks. I'm learning even in that to speak out, whether it is liked or disliked. This is who I am. And this is the way you should see yourself. You should say to yourself that, hey, I am different and I don't mind being different. And if I have something to say, or if it's something that needs to be done, I'm going to be the life changer. I'm going to change the situations in my life. I'm going to help other people to see another way if they need changing in their life. Because some people won't change. They just don't know how to. And sometimes you could be that guiding light to show them a different path. So even though my messages won't be so popular, or my channel may not be that popular where it's popping and everybody wants to come and hear me talk, it is not for those people. It is for the people that I'm supposed to reach. Hey, Malik, how are you? Welcome. It is for the people that I am supposed to reach. It is for the people that I'm actually supposed to minister to in any kind of way. It is for those people. It is for you. It is even for me. I had to get beyond, well, why I don't have these numbers, or why I don't have these people. Why? That's not who I'm supposed to reach yet. And I might not ever reach a certain group of people, because some people are attracted to different things. I have to do what is set before me. And now somebody want to call me, and this is just not a good time. I have to do what is set before me. And I can't worry about other people and what they do and how they get people in their chat. This is Selena. Just like you or you. What's up, Shirley? Are you sure you're in the right? Are you sure you're in the right chat? Shirley, I'm gonna mess with you all the time about that. I'm gonna mess with you all the time about that. But yeah, so all I'm gonna say is know your truth, speak on your truth, and do not allow other people and what they think about you stop you from your path. I always tell my nephew, Shirley said, girl, I like your wig. But no, I'm just kidding. But everybody has their own path. And I tell my nephew, he honors his father so much. He actually wants to, I think he really sometimes wants to be like him, right? And I have to tell him, Joshua, you are you and your father is your father. Be who you are supposed to be, and learn to go by your name. Your name was a fearless leader. If you go back, Joshua was a fearless leader. He was second in command for Moses, from those who are Bible scholars. And God told him the same thing, be courageous, right? Be courageous and know that I'm with you. You have the name that you are, that was given to you. So you are supposed to be courageous. Even when you are scared, be courageous. Do it afraid. Do it afraid. I love the video. What the hell is going on? Oh, okay. I appreciate that. Hey, Rocco. Thank you, Malik. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what the hell is going on in this world. But thank you, Malik. And thank you for hitting the like button. I appreciate you guys for coming through and pressing the like button. That means a lot to me. How you doing, Rocco? So yeah, like I said, I didn't come on here to preach. I just came on here to give y'all some motivation to let this year be a different year for you. Don't waste your time and feed into the right type of things. And the right type of things for you can be different from me, you know, and my right type of things could be different from you, but feed into the right things. Don't focus and feed into such the negativity. Okay, I'm glad you're doing good, Rocco. Glad to see you. Don't feed into the negative things that's going on, because you'll start to get a lot of that in your mind, and what you feed sometimes you become. Just like your perception is your reality. And a lot of our perception, I'm just saying, is messed up. Just like mine was. My perception was so messed up because I was worried about why they don't like me. Why they don't do it. Who cares? Who cares? Get beyond people. Get beyond people. And sometimes faceless people, especially in social media. You don't even know these folks. Get beyond that and learn to be who you are. Learn to be who you are. And right, be F them. And that's not the most Christian way, but it is what it is. Like I say, have the unbothered personality, because that's what's going to save you in life. And you'll start to see, once you start not to care about the negativity, your whole way of thinking is going to change. And when your whole way of thinking changes, you're going to start seeing things in your life manifest in a really good way. I'm not going to say you're not going to have your times where you are down, and things are you going through things, but you're not going to stay there, because you have the right frame of mind. You have the right perspective. And guess what? Everything starts in your mind first before it goes out to everything else. A thought has to start in your mind. And sometimes we are driven by the thoughts that we have in our mind. And a lot of times it's negativity. When you are a negative Nancy or a negative Ned, you really don't see life for everything that it could be or that it is, because it's always some good and it's some bad. And guess what? In this life, we're going to always have crosses we're going to have to bear. And this is not such a Christian saying. This is actually real. We're all going to have something in our life that we're going to have to face. And it's not always going to feel good. But when you have the right frame of mind and you're learning to change your perception and start feeding your mind on more positivity instead of the negative, you will start to see that life is really not that bad. And really, life is what we make it. There's a lot of things I desire that I don't have right now, right? I could be very depressed. I could be very upset. But when I look around and I still see all of the good things that I have around me, I start to be grateful. And my feelings about the things that I don't have start to look a little different, because I'm focusing more on the things that I actually still have and the things that I do have. I still have, even though I've had some people that I love, that I hold dear to me, that passed on, I got a lot of great people that are still here with me today. So I dwell on that. I dwell on having and spending time and checking on people that I care about, because they're still here. There's other things that I desire and want in my life. But if I don't have them, I'm still going to be okay, because at the end of the day, I still have me. God's not done with me because I'm still here. you know. And that's the kind of things that I start to think about. And I always will say my good always outweighs my bad. That's why my perception is changing, because I realize my good always outweighs my bad. Before, I was looking at the glass, uh, not even half full. I was looking at it almost empty. It was gone. It was dry, right? And my negative thoughts came into place. They started to play with my mind. I started looking at all the bad things. And so my perception about life and about people, all people, started to change in a negative way. But when I really start to sit back and look and start to say, you got a problem, this is something that you need to fix. Then when I start to look at those things and see how I can fix certain things, then I start to see my perception about life, about people, started to change. And I started to see all the beautiful things that I have, all the good people that support me and like me and love me. And most of all, I'm learning to like and love myself. That's the most important part. I can actually now laugh at myself. Before, I couldn't. I was so serious. I was so pent up. You know what I'm saying? I was so uptight. Now I can actually laugh at myself now. Hey, House of Urban. Yeah, right, Diana. So I just started to realize that even though life can be bad, it's good sometimes. I mean, it's my good outweighs my bad, you know? And I really started to be appreciative and my outlook on stuff. So now when people see me, I got more of a pleasantry about myself rather than what the hell are you looking at? Oh Lord. This one guy said, "You're such a pretty lady, but your face, you don't your face come off like you don't want to be bothered." And he was right, but it was because of my frame of mind at the time. And we all get in a funk, so that it ain't just me. It ain't just me that always, hey, Derek, what's good? Good to see you. It ain't always me that got that, have a funky attitude at times. We all have it at times. And it really screws up our perception. It really screws up how we see the world. And like I said, it's bad things going on in the world, and it's a lot of bad people, but there's some good, and there's some good people, and it's not. And I think that sometimes we have to sometimes adjust us in order to see that it's not always other people. Sometimes it's the way we're looking at things. Perception plays a big part in our lives, whether we realize it or not. And I am so glad that I'm learning that rather than learn when I'm 70 years old, if I live that long. Because the way people be dropping now, it's like I was telling you guys the other day, it was a 30-year-old that was on stage singing, and he just dropped dead of a massive heart attack. He wasn't overweight or anything. So life happens, and sometimes it happens when we least expect it. So it's best to live the best that you can and quit being such a butthole. Some people make it, they don't even realize how much of a butthole they are until somebody that really loves and cares for them tell them, you are acting like a butthole and you really need to chill out. you know I'm so glad somebody told me. I'm so glad somebody told me before it was too late, because we all got our ways, and some of our ways are very displeasing. But so many people blame other people instead of look at themselves first. So when I realized, oh, Selena, you got to get this together, girl. You got to deal with this issue that you got that has you thinking that you know you get so in your feelings about people not accepting or liking you. you gotta do better than that, girl. And I realized that the problem was me. I really started to understand where that came from. And as I started to understand where that came from, it made it easier for me to not only since I've identified the issue, it gave me a way to realize and to work on what I can do to fix that issue. Because I believe every issue can be, most of the time, is fixable. Perception is not just what you see, but what you learn from others. Correct. And I'm so glad that I have real people that will tell me the truth. And I have real people that I can actually learn from. I have people that I can call today and be like, hey, I have this situation. What do you think about this? They will tell me what they have learned from what they've been through. And even though it might not be the identical situation, it's something from that I can actually take and actually use it for my situation. And that's what Derek is talking about. And if you're a young person, it's really good not to talk to old fools, but it's really good to talk to people that are wise. And it's some wise young people too. But I'm talking about people that have lived like a long life, and they can give you, hey, Marissa, some people can't even admit that you are on your way. Thank you, Shirley. Um, you start to, when you start listening to older people that are wise, that have lived, and you really pay attention to what they're saying, it will help you not to go down some of the same paths that they went down on. You know what I'm saying? And some of the same mistakes, because they're telling you some things that can keep you from trouble. Some things in life you're going to have to learn. You're going to have to hit your head, because some of us are so darn hard-headed, right? But then there is some things that you don't have to go through. There's some things that you can learn from some older people that will save your life and save time wasted. That it's like a lot of times we waste time because we don't want correction. And in this life, it's about learning, but it's also about learning from other people so you don't make the same stupid decisions that they made, that you're about to make. This older lady used to tell me all the time, Selena, don't do anything stupid. Every time she would see me, I'm like, okay. But then I actually started listening, and some things I just didn't do because I could hear the back of my mind, Miss Harris saying, Selena, don't do anything stupid. Now, some things I still did stupid anyway, but hey, that's a part of being hard headed and having to learn the hard way. And some of us need that because some of us can be slow in some areas. So that's just kind of what I learned. And I'm learning to have that better way of thinking, not feeding into the madness, not feeding into the foolishness, because really that stuff gets in you. And when you get too much of it, you just going to be a negative, foolish person. And you don't even know it until somebody that actually love and care enough about you to tell you the truth. But some people, it's hard to tell them the truth because they think they know everything. And I don't want to be one of those people either. Thank you, Malik. I appreciate you coming through, sweetie. I hope you come back now. I really had to really just sit down with myself and say, girl, you got to work on this because this ain't healthy. Some of your issues, they can mess you up in life, and it can make you stay in a place too long then you should be, you know, you should have moved on in a certain areas in your life. And because you haven't learned it, sometimes you have to go back to that same lesson, and that's no fun. So I said this year, a lot of folks, I say, I'm not entertaining. I ain't taking certain, it's in 2024, it's no nonsense. It's about uh self-improvement. It's about working on me. It's about sowing good seeds in my life so that I can actually reap them. And it's really just about being real with myself and telling the truth to myself. Because a lot of times we be lying to ourselves. I know I've lied. I've lied to myself a few times. Oh, no, you don't have that problem. It's not that. No, you got that problem. No, you are this type of person. No, you really did do that on purpose. So it's also about stop lying to yourself. That should be, if nothing else, that should be a lot of people's goals. Because from what I see on this app, in this false reality, and in the real world, a lot of folks lie to themselves. I'm not the only one, and won't be the last. So I'm appreciative for the few people that came through. That lets me know that I am on the right path, regardless if I have many or a few. I'm good. What's up, CX? How are you, sweetie? I'm good. Because at the end of the day, I got to go to sleep with me, and I got to wake up with me, and I got to look in the mirror at me. So if I'm a foul person, it's going to show up. It's going to be that person looking back in the mirror. So, note to self is feed myself into more positive things, tell the truth to myself, not lie, and be me. Thank you, CX. I appreciate you. And at the end of the day, be unbothered. Don't give a damn. That will save you a lot of heartache, a lot of time wasted crying, depressed, mad, angry. That will save you a lot of time. So, hope you guys have a wonderful night. I don't know. I think tomorrow I might take a break because I think I'm going somewhere tomorrow night. But I'll try to be back either maybe Friday. I might be back tomorrow. It just depends on how I feel because I'm on Christmas break now, so I can actually just kind of go when I want to. But I hope that um if I don't come back tomorrow or Friday or this whole week, I really hope that everybody has a safe holiday. And really kind of focus on what I'm saying and don't let it just be words that's just been said, because I'm not a person that think I have it all together, because I'll be the first to let you know I don't. But what I have learned, I'm trying to keep applying it to my life and let other people know as well. Guys, y'all have a blessed day, blessed night, because it's nighttime for most people. And just like I said, be safe out there in these streets. Touch on a subject like what the hell is going on. Yes, a lot of hell going on. That's what these folks full of hell. But I don't want to be full of hell. I can tell you that. I want to be full of peace. Full of peace, honey. But guys, y'all be good. And remember, if nobody else don't love you, Selena loves you to Reese's Pieces. Bye.